No, we're not on deadline.
No deadline.
Obviously, great win for us. On a tough day, weather-wise, to have so many fans be out here like that and be so energetic, it made a big difference. And our players just responded. I mean, this league is so tough that the only thing you can liken it to is a 15-round fight every night. And we've been answering every round, and we've been dealing with it in a good way. And really, really proud of the way our team played today. I think it's ironic that they were watching, our highlight tape was the rematch of the Joe Louis, Max Schmeling fight from 1938 in Yankee Stadium after he got beat in 36, because that was our whole theme about losing the game in here last year. You know, I think obviously we've been waiting for this game for a long time, I know I have. And they're a great rival. Thad really doesn't get the national credit that he gets, not just that everybody knows he's a great coach, but that guy will be in the Hall of Fame at some point. I mean, there's absolutely no doubt about it. He's almost got 300 wins at Ohio State, let alone what he did at Butler and Xavier. So we battle against him a lot on the court and in recruiting, and I have tremendous respect for him and what he does. So we knew we were playing against not only a well-coached team, but a great basketball team with one of the all-time great leaders that I've ever seen in college basketball, college sports for that matter. So to play the way that we did, to play the way that we did without Noah, which I'm not sure, we knew it was certainly a possibility yesterday, and then it was a realization today, this morning. I thought our guys did a fantastic job. And the biggest concern we had there is, are we going to answer the bell rebounding-wise? And we did. It didn't always look like we did, but we did. And Yogi and Will led this team at a high level. It took us a while to get solidified down low, but once Hunter did, we played pretty well there. Austin Etherington was very unsung in this game. Evan Gordon was unsung in this game. And really the guy that is just continuing to get better all the time is Troy Williams. And this was probably his most minutes, right? It's got to be close, yeah. But the bottom line is, it's been so important to him to be able to finish games and to get to a point where he can finish games offensively, defensively, and today he did. I had no hesitation, no trepidation whatsoever in having him in the game. And I think that's a great growth spot for him. So we're really, really excited about that. I'll answer a question. I'll just answer about Noah because I want to spend more time talking about the players that played today. But Noah's situation is, it's an inflammation of the foot that has been bothering him for some time. There's no stress fracture or anything like that. It's just bothering him, and he's not very comfortable with it. So it's truly going to be a day-to-day thing with him. It's not anything that I'm going to be able to update you on every day, because we're just going to have to wait and see how it goes for him. He continues to be with the rehab. It's nothing that's new. It's just something that's bothering him more, and we'll wait and see how that turns out. So I can't give you any answer on what he's going to do tomorrow. I can't give you any answer on what he's going to do Wednesday night, or they're past that. So we'll cover that now. And I really don't have any much more to add to that. So go ahead,
Terry.
Coach, they got out to a 20-12 lead, and it seemed like they had a lot of things going easy. You guys go on a 16-0 run, kind of take control at that point. What changed there?
defense, the switching, I think. In our mind, much the same way it was the other night. It's really hard to switch. And we had to play time and score really, really tight, you know, with Yogi. I was in a minority, I was a majority of one, I should say, and wanted to keep him in the game when he got that second foul, but we were trying to play time and score as much as we did, as much as we could. And Evan Gordon was great at that. I said, what do you think here? He says, I don't know, you're the coach. And that's the guy that I thought wanted to coach someday. So I knew I was going to make my decision, but I got great guiding light from Evan on that. But bottom line is the switching when they went smaller was a big thing for us. We got good shots. There were times we were taking quick shots, and you can't do that against them. You can't run handoffs against them. Yeah, and I think our guys, as much as we tried to prepare them over the last day, not as much on Friday, but yesterday, they're as good as it gets at taking the ball from you and taking away the elbows and getting their hands on basketballs, not just Aaron, but the rest of them. And we needed to be better at that. There were a couple of times we came in there casually, and the guys that are casual with the ball, they weren't able to play for us today, because you just can't do that. And bottom line is the defense, good shots, good ball movement, continuing to have our break, and not trying to rush things was the biggest difference there.
Rick, a couple of weeks ago, that you guys had taken some tough losses. Now you've won 3 out of 4. What have you been able to do to kind of get it moving back the right way?
Stay positive. You know, I think you just keep the negativity out of your world. You know, I've cut back my reading. I never read my Twitter timeline ever anymore. I don't care. It doesn't have anything to do with what we're doing, and I think you try to get that across to your team. I knew we were improving, and you just keep that away. And it's not how you succeed in life, anyways. It is, and try to get our guys to understand that. I think they knew they were getting better, and I think we're able to point out from the films where we struggled and also where we were good. And I think it's very, very important, no matter what you do in the game, that you show them where the positives are. It's so much about the emotion of where you're at. And if you come in and you're just dwelling on the negative emotion, I mean, that's only going to go so far. You got to keep taking what you're doing well. You got to keep taking what you're not doing well. Now, that doesn't mean you're accepting of what you're not doing well at all. A big difference there. But we've been working really hard to respond. And I think the bottom line for these guys is they know when that we are good enough to compete with any team in this league. And when we play smart and tough and thoroughly play the right way, we can beat any team in this league. And that's where we've got to be.
Zach?
You said just sort of will with him recently is just, I think the term used was just remembering who he is, all he can do, just kind of how he can impact. It's 49 points in the last 2 games. Is that just kind of part of it for him? Was it just kind of maybe just a little bit of just kind of needed him to get kick-started?
It's what I said the other day, and it's not a situation to dive any deeper than what it is. He's a really good player. Every once in a while, people forget it. Well, I don't care if people forget it. I care when he forgets it. And I think the most important thing is that he didn't need to forget he was a good player. He didn't need to think that he was anything less than being a tremendous leader. And he doesn't need to overthink it. Just play. And he's doing an excellent job of that. But there's no question he's running the court at a great place. He has got your season is a lot like the individual players. There's always little watershed moments or little defining moments that you make a decision. And I think after the Purdue game, he knew, hey, I can be a lot better on the court when my leadership is where it needs to be every day. And that's exactly what he's done from that point. So that might be a definitive place to start. But Will has been, you got to remember this about Will, okay? He helped turn this program. And I know we've been here a while now, but he walked into the doldrums of this place. And Will Sheehy and Victor Oladipo, along with Jordan Hulls, changed the culture of this program. And there's no doubt about it. And he's the only one left. And that culture is still moving in a great place because of what he does and because of what guys like Yogi and others are doing more of. But Will Sheehy is capable of a lot of things. And that's what we want him to continue to understand and do.
Jeff?
What did you like most about what you got from Honor today?
I got to think about that. He was ready to catch the ball. We showed up the playbook big time, or the game plan, I should say, over the period of time with no one out in there. Because Jeremy just wasn't going to be able to do some of those things in the sense of what Noah brings, and at the same time some of the plays that we run with Noah. But Hunter did a really good job of being in movement. He got better as the game went on, gained his confidence as the game went on, and was great to see him. His teammates were so happy for him. So I think the fact that he was able to continue to play even after he struggled maybe a little bit, and really get better inside of it, kind of epitomized the game. We got better as the game went on.
Okay.
How much does the rapid-fire games kind of help this team build some momentum, especially as they go into the stretch run towards an NCAA tournament opportunity?
Well, I don't know. We're just I'm not getting anywhere past what day we're in. So, I mean, that's all it is. I mean, we're just trying to be better in every practice. We don't spend a lot of time. Like I said, we take all the other stuff out of it. And it's not like we run in there and show them what this person wrote or what that person said. It's irrelevant to building into a team. It really is. And what we say matters. And you just keep staying with that and you just keep focused on how much better you can get. That's the most important thing. And we have to understand that even if a team is good at getting back, even if a team is not wanting to run as much, as long as the ball's not stopping and the players are not stopping, you can really be in transition a lot. But it's when the ball stops and the players stop moving, that's when it breaks down, whether it's in the first couple of seconds of the clock or whether it's in the middle of the clock or whether it's at the end of the clock.
Yeah, just when you figured out you didn't have Noah, how did that change the game plan? I know you've kind of gone there already, but what did you want differently, and from a general aspect, what did you want to do differently?
Well, I think the bottom line is we still had to figure out how we're going to get fouled. That's the biggest thing. The two biggest things were, and there's no way to prepare for this, we had to rebound better. I mean, it's absolutely got to be a gang rebounding mentality. I mean, all five, more than ever, because he gets so much done with the boards. And we said there are going to be anywhere from 8 to 15 boards sitting out there that somebody usually gets, and he's not going to be out there. So we have to find a way to get those. But we had to open the court a little bit more. Some of the new stuff we put in, we didn't change that because everybody was here for that. But we just needed to really, really make sure our spacing was really, really good. And that we didn't become bogged down in the post where they weren't going to guard people, because he demands not only the best of coverages, but he also demands double teams a lot. And we prepared really hard the other day for the double team. And we figured the only way it was going to really come today is that they were really trying to turn us over. So what it was more me just shrinking what we were going to run, because we really didn't have a lot of time this morning a little bit, but not very much. We didn't keep them out there very long. It was really me just shrinking what we would run. So it was more just adjusting the game plan, shrinking it up, spend a little more time running things that maybe we might just run a little bit, just running them a lot longer, or a lot more, I should say, not a lot longer, but a lot more. That's all it really was. We didn't try to put a lot of time in making them thinking about it, other than the rebounding.
Sure.
You talked a lot lately about people stepping up and hitting big shots, but they cut it to one with about 10 to go. Gordon hits a three, she hits a three, two real big shots.
Yeah, I don't remember all of that as far as the one, but I remember those shots. That was big. Will's been making big shots. That's the confidence that he has, as he should. That's the confidence that his teammates have in him, as they always have. And that's the product of just being in the right place at the right time, because you're always moving. Going to Northwestern, he hit a big shot at a crucial time. I mean, he's really, really good with that mid-range. And when he's not overly looking for the three, especially early in the clock from the corner, which is not a good shot, he's really good with it. So he's got very good confidence there. And that's big. And Evan was ready to shoot. I thought Yogi, it's certainly a measuring stick when you're in the game with somebody like Aaron Kraft. It's not an individual battle per se. I don't think you ever look at it like that. But it is a leadership battle, because that young man, Aaron, is one of the great leaders of all time. And Yogi matched up with that today, which is exactly what we had to have happen. Now, can he continue to do that in his career like Aaron has? That's the next part of it. But today he did a fantastic job.
With the team being so young and it being kind of late in the season, and the bodies are getting a little bit fatigued, how do you keep everybody focused?
Well, I don't think you worry a lot about focus as much as you don't want to put, it's really easy as a coach to put so many things in, because we're such a game plan team, especially right now because we don't have the three-point shooting, that you've got to find different ways to do so many different things. And then every once in a while, like, I'll go into these situations, I always tell the coaches, like, I got 12 or 14 new things I want to do, I get to about 3 of them, sometimes 4. An older team, I'd get to all 14. The bottom line is, you just can't do it. You can't overdo it with the mentality part. You want them to play free and easy, but at the same time understand there's certain things we have to do, certain things we can't do, and certain things we need to do in each game. But we don't over-practice. We tapered this back a long time. I mean, we're very cognizant of how young they are, and we're very cognizant of how long the season is, based on when it started. And I really don't know when other people do it. I don't really ask many other people. I think because no two teams are alike. You have to do what your team is calling for. And you just read your team and have the pulse of it the best that you can, and that's all we're trying to do. They're very focused, though. I mean, I think it obviously shows that. I mean, they feel they can win, and they know who we're playing against.
Last question, Zach. Oh, Pete.
Could be.
Go
Go ahead, Zach.
We'll do two. Go ahead.
Okay. I guess you have improved so much in being able to finish and being able to close games in the last couple of weeks. What's been the catalyst for that? What's the key?
We spent a lot of time at it. I think they're aware of it. I don't think there's any question. I don't think there's any question that Penn State game shook us in a lot of ways, and because they knew we weren't even close to the way we practice and the way we prepare at the end of that game, and we knew we let the pressure and the emotion of the game get to us, and we've grown from that. There's no question about that. Even though we lost a couple games with that too, we have grown from that. We continue to spend time on situations. We continue to add to the situations. We put 2 new deals in today at the end of because of the way Ohio State presses off the ball so much. And they know that's a huge, huge part of it, because they've seen us win and they've seen us lose because of it. And so I think the other thing is you just want your team to continue to be, we can't ever get away from making sure we're really good fundamentally. We can't ever get away from making sure, we don't do a lot of individual improvement type things away from practice, where they shoot so much on their own as it is, but we do a lot of those things in practice. And I think you can never get away and ever get away. And I'd like to think we never have, all right, here or even at Marquette. You can never get away from making sure the most important improvement you do is the individual player, so that their confidence continues to grow. Because you can have the greatest scheme in the world, you can have the greatest plan in the world, but if they don't feel good about what they're capable of doing, it's never going to be as good. So we try to stay with that as much as possible.
Just to kind of go back to Will, I know you go game to game, but just what does it mean? He's coming up on his last home game, to see him kind of closing out his career like this.
I'm not thinking about that. I mean, I'm sure I'll be, you're not going to Roy Firestone me. Remember him? You're too young. You're too young for Roy Firestone. You're not going to get that. I almost did it on the radio show with Don, so I'm not doing that. But he is a special young man, and we have been through so much that had nothing to do with basketball. And same with Taylor Ware and Jeff Howard, and even Evan being here 1 year with us. We'll be locked in. We'll be locked in that night. And we just need that team could easily be ranked by tomorrow than Nebraska with the way they're playing. Be shocked if they're not, in all honesty. And if you're really looking at what the hottest teams are, and we'll be ready to go. I don't have any doubt about that. All right, thanks.
Hey, 2 quick notes, guys.